Well, yeehaw, everybody!
Well, howdy, nerds. Today we're talking about El Paso, the rootinest, tootinest board game in the West.
The Doc's alive! He's in the Old West, but he's alive!
So El Paso is a scaled-down version of Great Western Trail, which I haven't actually played. You have.
I've played it a few times, and I gotta say, I am not the biggest fan. I think it's a little bit overrated. I think it's okay. I think it's kind of clunky and slow. And, like, there's a lot of different things you can do, but you never really get to do any of them. Like, it's a deck-building game. You don't really deck-build all that much. It's a rondel game, but you don't really... I mean, you don't build all that many things, you know?
But we're not talking about this.
Yeah.
We're talking about this game.
But get hyped, people!
But I would say, I think that it's important to know that you don't care for Great Western Trail, but you do care for El Paso.
I do like El Paso. I have a few small gripes that we'll talk about in a second, but overall, this is a watered-down version. So yes, there is deck building. There is a rondel mechanic of building on this. We're going to move, clockwise around this board, but at the beginning, there's only a couple of buildings, and you can build more buildings. And there's still the thing of when you get to El Paso, you're then going to look at all the cows in your hand and gain points on the different colors and how the value of them. And actually, moving forward, I'll talk about this as if you've never played Great Western Trail. So you start with a hand of cows that are different colors and a lot of low numbers.
So it's kind of a handcrafting game.
Yeah, I called it deck building earlier, but really, I mean, you can buy more cows that are different colors and higher numbers, and that's important, because if I have 3 cows that are all 2, but they're all the same color, I only get to count one of those. So you want to diversify the types of cows you have, and you want them to have higher numbers, and when you get to El Paso, then you're going to check your hand, and whatever that value is, that's how you're going to both upgrade your board here, because you're going to remove a cube here, and you're going to place it over on the scoreboard over here, which is either going to get you more abilities and stuff, or points.
Yeah, so really you're going around the rondel, but all of it is kind of geared towards when you get to El Paso, you are going to get money, you are going to gain one of the orange cows, and you
kind of suck.
Yeah, they're great early game, but because you want a diversity of colors, you're getting one of those every turn, so pretty soon you're just going to have a ton of those orange cows in your hand, and that... You don't want a ton of those orange cows. But the biggest thing you're going to do is you're going to basically cash in your hand for points, where Tom said every different color cow you have scores for the number on it, which lets you do things. So you want to spend the entire time going around the rondel trying to perfect that hand. And there's other things you can do to get points and upgrade your hand and upgrade buildings on the board, but all of it kind of centers around getting that hand to be as many points as you possibly can before you get back to El Paso again.
And in addition to building your hand, you're also going to be building a pool of workers that you have down here, that when you purchase them, there's a wild, and there's cowboys, builders, and engineers. When you first get them, they come into your pool. They don't go in your discard. I played a game where I messed that up. When you first get them, they come down in your pool, and you can spend them. Cowboys get you more cows, right, with more different colors and higher values. That's good. Builders let you build more buildings out onto the board, so you have a place that you can go and trigger bigger and better actions and their points. And then engineers will let you do these train actions, which let you get either constant ability tokens, one-time use ability tokens, but they're points, or endgame scoring tokens, which are points.
Permanent abilities.
There's like 2 in the whole deck or something like that. But those are like the 3 main ways. If you focus heavy on cowboys and you buy a bunch of cows, the cows themselves are worth points, and then you can use them to get more points at El Paso. If you build a bunch of buildings, the buildings themselves are worth points, and you can use those better abilities to get more stuff and refine your hand and get more points at El Paso. It is probably important for me to say that you can only build 2 buildings in total, but you can overbuild. So you don't even need to get that many builders. You can get like 2 or 3 and then just constantly build the next level, the next level, the next level, and go from there.
And I think talking about only being able to build 2 buildings brings you to one of the big things about this game is that it's a fairly quick and short game. It doesn't take very long. In fact, I don't know if it's a negative for me, but it was a game that I had a lot of fun playing, but when it ended, I was like, that's it. I just got to where I wanted to be. I can't do the cool things now.
But granted, I mean, like, a couple of turns. If it was, because there's a deck of cards you put here, and whenever somebody gets to El Paso, they'll take one of those cards, and when that deck runs out is the timer on the game. Now, of course, the game could take longer in terms of time if everybody goes real slow, right? You can move 1 to 3 movements, right? But if everybody is skipping over all the buildings and just going to El Paso, they're going to rush out the game. But I agree that I kind of want to play this at not 4 players again. 4 players is it's too much downtime. But I want to play it at like 2 or 3 players again, but use more, but just lengthen it not abnormally, but house rule or whatever to make it longer. But also, I definitely felt that way in the base game in Great Western Trail, where like I was thinking it's a deck building game, but I don't really get to deck build that much. We're putting buildings out, but I can't really put that many buildings out, whatever. I felt like that same gripe is coming over from there, but at least with here, it's a very easy way to just lengthen the game. Just put a couple more cards there, and boom, you get
I also feel like it being a smaller, more streamlined game, that matters less. So when it's a bigger game...
Yeah, we're going to add another 45 minutes to this thing?
But also, it feels worse when you have this big game set up, and then you're like, I'm almost able to do cool stuff, and now I can't. With a shorter game, it's like, oh, I could have done more stuff, but like... Oh, game's over. Let's either play it again or play something else now.
Yep. And then I do have a few component gripes.
Yeah.
These little boxes, these are cool. It's cool that they give these to you, but they're pretty cheap and they're already like... I've only played this like 3 times and they're already kind of falling apart from opening and closing them. They're ripping a little bit.
The game board is a cloth, which I'm never a huge fan of the cloth game mats. I understand for like... lightweight. I have no idea if it helps with like cost of the game, if it's more expensive or less expensive than a game board. But this left me, I was disappointed in the cloth game mat.
Especially because you're supposed to put your tokens right on this big old crease and they floppy dop around. But
would it fit in the box if you rolled it?
I don't know. And I'm not going to... Did you stack them?
I did stack them.
So overall, this is my favorite version of Great Western Trail, coming from someone who doesn't really love the original. But I do feel like this... I don't know, this like gives me the feeling of, okay, I get the idea that, you're building your hand, you're getting cowboys, you're doing stuff and things, and, yeehaw, but, I don't have to sit through the big slog that is the base game.
And coming from someone who did not play Great Western Trail, I had a lot of fun with this one. I feel like it was pretty easy to grasp the concept. Within one round, you get what you want to do. It's not a game where, like, halfway through the game, you're like, oh, I get it now. I wish I could go back and redo half that game. Like, one game in, you already get what you want to do, and you're able to work towards a very viable strategy. So I had a good time with this one.
Yeah, I know I said a lot of negative things, and, like, I kind of spat all over the original base game, but I like this one. It's a good one. This might stay in the collection.
Yeah, so go ahead and check out that purchase link down in the description below where you can get a copy of El Paso.
And also, while you're down there, get yourself a pair of boots. There's going to be a link for GameToppers. GameToppers is the sponsor of Neverboard Gaming. It's what we're filming on right here. They're absolutely amazing. You should definitely 100% check them out.
There's also going to be a link where you can, or it's a button, not a link, but it says subscribe. You should look at it. You should click on it. I highly recommend you click on it.
If this is the first YouTube video you've ever viewed, let me tell you about the subscribe button. Does a cowboy hat and a Hawaiian shirt work?
I think it works great.